everybody, and welcome to the channel Crossing Your Spiritual Streams. My name's Tandra, and today we are going to do our 2022 predictions for what you might come across during the year, the kind of things that you might be dealing with, some of the energies that are going to be happening, maybe a little bit of advice if that pops up, or just to give you an idea of the kinds of things you can look forward to for the coming year. We do base this on your astrological sign, and it's for your sun, moon, and or rising sign. So it's a good idea to watch all three of those readings. That way you can get a better idea of what your year might be like. We do this slightly different than other readers in that for each sign, you will have 3 piles to choose from. So hopefully the reading will be a little bit more specific to you, because not all Aries are the same, not all Pisces are the same, and so forth. And so there liable to be some slight nuances or differences in each pile, and that way you have a better chance of maybe getting a little bit more detailed reading. These are the decks that will be used in the readings. So this is just letting you know the kind of decks we're going to be using. This is the Modern Witch. This is the Gypsy Fortune Telling. This is the Old Style Laramand. This is the Romance Tarot. This is the Wheel of the Year Tarot. This is the Black Moon Astrology Oracle deck, and this is the Witch's Tarot. So those are the tarot cards that we will be using in each of the readings. Okay, so next will be the introduction for each specific video. There will be an introduction to let you look at the piles and let you decide which readings to go to, and then we'll get to the readings for each one. So we look forward to seeing you there. Hello everybody, welcome Aries to your reading for 2022. Wow, it's amazing. We're already there at 2022. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If you've been at the channel before, welcome back. I would like to let you guys know that we do these yearly readings, but we also have other readings that we put out on the channel. We do daily messages from Spirit, and then we also do our weekly videos that are on lots of different topics, and many of those are timeless. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to check those out as well. Now this reading is for Aries, and this is for your sun, moon, and or rising sign. So if any of those apply to you, this would be your reading. We do have 3 piles to choose from, because not all Aries are the same. We have pile 1 that has the Aries symbol. We have pile 2 that has Aries written out, and pile 3 that has the constellation of Aries. So we will give you a moment here to reflect on these piles and decide which one has the best energies for you for the year. It's best to go with your gut instinct on this. I do recommend that you watch all the videos that pertain to your sun, moon, and or rising signs. If, for instance, 2 of those are the same, like my rising and moon signs are the same, then I would have 2 videos to watch. But you would either have 2 or 3, and in some cases just 1 video, but most likely you'll have at least 2 videos to watch. I recommend that because it gives you a better idea of the coming energies for your year. It kind of gives you more of a whole picture of your year, because all 3 are very important. Okay, we will be looking at our Black Moon Astrology cards, but we also have tarot cards. We have our Romance Tarot to look into your love life a little bit more in depth for the year. We will be doing our Oracle Spheres and our Angel Numbers, in case the angels have any specific messages for you to look at for the year, or specific things that pertain to you. Also, some people like to use them as important dates or as lucky numbers for the year. Okay, so we're going to get to that. So we're going to give you some time to reflect on these piles, and then when you decide which one is the best one for you to watch, there will be timestamps listed in the description that will lead you directly to your reading, and we'll see you there. Hello Aries, pile 1, those of you that chose the Aries symbol. We're going to be looking at our Black Moon Astrology card first, and we'll be reading out of the booklet for that. I like to do that every year because there's so much information involved in this, and it kind of gives you maybe a general idea of the energies for the year and what's going on with that astrology card. But then we also have more specific and more detailed stuff coming up in the tarot cards as well. We will be looking at the romance tarot here on your romance side of things for the year. We also have our oracle spheres, our charms. We're going to be doing those, and our angel numbers. So there's lots to get to today. So let's find out what your year has in store for you. Ooh, the 12th house escape, number 36. Wow, okay. 12th house has a lot of important energies involved with it. Okay, let's take a look and see what the booklet has to say about this. It is time to get on point. It's not a time to ignore or overlook what's there. Things may get fragmented. The 12th house of the zodiac is the most mesmerizing of all the houses. Mysticism, dreaming, drowning, vast seas, and surrendering all are themes that belong to this house of self-undoing. It is also the place in the chart where we lapse in our judgment and make bad choices. Like the sign of Pisces that rules it, the 12th house falls at the end of the zodiac, which indicates a type of passage or rebirth. This house contains the meanings of all the signs and planets and all the other houses within it. The 12th house stands for the all. Even though astrologers refer to the 12th house as the gutter or the garbage dump of the zodiac, it is still distinct in its meaning. Evolved souls and the doomed live here. Within the 12th house are the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows. Ruled by Neptune, the planet of confusion and drunkenness, prisoners, shut-ins, saints, artists, and mystics call this home. Imagination, linking up, and connecting to the unknown are all facets of the 12th house. It is where the material and the non-physical worlds connect. It is both the beginning and the end. The 12th house offers bliss, spiritual fulfillment, the meeting up with twin flames. It promises of losing yourself in some beautiful other. But it might be like trying to hold on to a cloud. This house of poetry and oceans is enchantment. It is where we lie to ourselves as well. This house also represents water, toxins, poisons, perfumes, candles, hidden chambers, secret desires, Christ consciousness, and martyrdom. The 12th house tells us to forget about ourselves and to live for others, but this may bring confusion and also peril. It is fear and paranoia. It is beauty and love. It teaches us to write poetry and understand the messages from the heavenly spheres. The 12th house inspires us to show great kindness. When the 12th house card comes up in a reading, something is amiss. There is something about the situation you are unsure about, or at least you are not privy to. All is not as it seems. Without information, it's difficult to move forward. The signals you're getting are probably wrong ones. That medical test you've just had, the diagnosis is not likely accurate. What seems obvious right now is only a mirage or obscured. The Venus or Libra card with the 12th house card may indicate the emergence of an important love affair or relationship. With the Saturn card, you will soon be shown something you were mistaken over, and the results may be shattering. With the Moon card, your visions are profound. With the Mercury or 3rd house card combined with this card, you either write beautifully or you have deep psychic gifts. The warning with this card is not to look to others for fulfillment or to others to give you your purpose, at least not at the current phase. It's either the incorrect time to attempt this or you are looking at the wrong crowd. While the 10th house gives us truth, the 12th house gives us magic. Each is important, and you cannot be all that is without the other. Take heed and search for clarity. Watch out for deception at this time. Now we're going to look at the 12th house card in brief, looking at some of the key words involved with it, okay? Dissolving of boundaries, lack of definition, being under the influence of something or someone, being a victim, seeing friends as enemies and enemies as friends, not having a clear sense of things, being lost in the fog and mist, glamour, falling under a spell, sleight of hand, being led, mermaids, ocean life, beaches, leaks, cancellations due to wet weather, hospitals, the end of life, shut-ins, psychiatric issues, being charged but not guilty, prisons, criminals, con artists, bringing bad luck on yourself, karma, fate, poetry, music, showing kindness, compassion, being converted to religion, hopefully not a cult, the call to spirit, saintliness, hypnosis, mediumship, clairaudience, spirits, intoxication, old souls, the valley of miseries, and the answer to love. The corresponding tarot card is the Four of Cups, and the key ideas are solitude, charity, begging, hospitalization, secret enemies, exploitation, and visions. Okay, so as you can see, every card has kind of a good and a bad side to it, or some different elements. So we're going to take a look at our tarot card here, and we're going to see what other elements might pertain to the year to kind of help clarify this card a little bit of what kind of energies, because there's a lot involved with that card, so it could be lots of different things. Okay, we do have the Four of Cups. It's interesting because that was the card for this. We do have the Six of Wands, which is also very interesting. We have the Lover's card. We have the High Priestess. We have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Two of Swords. The Lover's card again. The Ace of Swords. The Nine of Wands. Then we have Anger and House, which is the four energy there. Okay. Wow. You guys have a lot of stuff going on this year. I do see some new starts here, by the way. I see some new beginnings. We have a couple of aces that can kind of show that. We have the Ace of Swords, which can show very good clarity. So even though this card shows a lot of maybe deception or fooling yourself, or things being cloudy and Mercury, mercurial or whatever, I also see the Ace of Swords as clarity. So even though part of the year might be dealing with that, or you might have some illusions or some things that maybe aren't quite real clear during the year, I do see the opportunity here for you to clear things up and get better clarity on things. So it does look like things might be a little murky for a little while, or you may not see the whole picture at first. The Four Cups energy being right beside that was very interesting, since that's the corresponding card. That's always interesting when that happens. But you might not see the whole situation at first. You might not see everything, because the Four Cups energy is very much about that, where you see one side of things, but maybe not the whole issue or the whole thing that's being presented there. So that is a possibility. It is a 4, though, and 4s to me are kind of a stable number. They're also a home number. They deal with family and protection and comfort, that kind of thing. So there is some stability stuff going on there as well, because of the 4s. It's interesting how you do have the Anger card. There might be some issues this year where what I see with that is you might be a little quick to anger without all the information. I would say that's kind of a warning or something for you to think about, that maybe you should make sure you have a little bit more information before you flare up in anger during the year. But it's also possible that will be, people will flare up in anger against you without all the information as well. So it's not just you. That's a possibility of something you might be dealing with this year, at least early on. I don't see it as plaguing you all year long, so that's just something that's early on in the year and dealing with. It's interesting how you had the Lover's card twice, and it was kind of spread out. the information I'm getting from that is, and we will clarify a little bit more with the Romance Tarot a little bit, but I think some of the murkiness that you're going to be seeing this year, or that you're not real sure of, or that has some issues involved with it, is with a mate or a lover or a significant other in your life, somebody else. I feel like with this Two of Swords energy here, I think there might be some murkiness in relation to that person this year. That's going to be, maybe there's going to be okay, I'm getting a couple of different energies. So take what resonates with you, and leave the rest, because there's a couple of different things I kind of see going on during this year. First of all, I see that you might become very close in a relationship early on in the year, and kind of have that, but you won't have all the facts, or there might be some things that come up later on that might kind of make that a little bit more rocky. You might even split up during the year. But then I see you forming another partnership or relationship later on in the year, like maybe midway through. So that's one scenario I kind of see. We might clarify that, like I said, a little bit more with the romance cards here in a moment. But that is one scenario that I see happening for you guys. The other issue I see going along with this is that you have, or you get into a relationship, if you're not in one, you get into a relationship relatively early in the year, but you still may not have all the facts involved with that. You still may not know everything. And it might take a while for that information to kind of come out, or get a little bit more helpful to you during the year. You might learn a little bit more throughout the year as time goes on. And then, finally things will clear up by the end of the year, and you might end up staying with that person all year. But that you might find out some things, at least by mid-year, that you may not be as thrilled with or as happy with, or maybe some forgiveness involved, and some other things like that. Okay. But I do, because of the 4 and the house energy here, I do kind of feel like you guys are going to have kind of a stable home life for the most part, in relationships. Okay. During the year, I think you're going to be relatively stable in your home life and in relationships for the most part, even if you don't know quite everything that's going on. You do have the Ace of Swords energy, so I do feel like some clarity will come towards the middle of the year. Things will kind of clear up a little bit. You'll be able to see things in a little bit different light than maybe you'd been able to see them early on. This is a really good year for you guys to work on any kind of spiritual abilities that you have. With the High Priestess card and with the 12th house. The 12th house card deals very much with our spirituality. It deals very much with connecting to other realms, connecting to other people on, our spirit team, our connecting with spirit in general, connecting possibly, using mediumship, or connecting with, because that veil into the other realms is a lot less strong. It's easier to pierce through it with the 12th house energy. So you guys can actually reach into your spiritual abilities this year and work with those. That is something that I would recommend doing during the year. It is something that the Nine of Wands energy, I also kind of see that as well, because the Wands is a little bit of a spiritual energy. The 9 denotes a little bit of dealing with that kind of thing, as well as the 7s, but she didn't have any of those. But the 9 of Wands makes me feel that way, that is something that you should work on this year, or should work into this year. dealing with your spirituality, dealing with how you think about religion, dealing with your spiritual gifts and powers and whatever those might happen to be, and be able to lock onto those or work with those. Because that is something I think you will get more clarity during the year, being able to tap into those, by the way. Okay. Now, we will go ahead and we'll look at our romance tarot a little bit to see if we can delve a little bit deeper into your romantic life for the year, and see if anything comes out specifically about that that we might need to know here. All right, we have the Queen of Swords. We have the Ace of Cups. It was reversed, but I don't read reversed cards. And then we also have the Six of Pentacles, which I really love with the Six of Wands. Okay, so I do think you guys are going to have a new relationship coming up this year, or you're going to be able to renew the relationship that you're already in once, like I said, once you kind of get through mid-year and you get out some things that maybe you didn't know, or you realize some things about the relationship you hadn't seen before or didn't see before, and then you'll be able to renew, okay, because that ace energy will help you renew that. But I do see either a renewal in a relationship, probably towards mid-year, or you will start a new relationship around that time of year if something happens in the relationship that you're in or that you get into. If you're not in a relationship, I do see one coming up this year of you getting into one. And I think for the most part, the one that you get into this year will be a good one. It'll be a celebratory one. It should be lasting throughout the year till the end of the year at least. It may even be a permanent one that will go on even longer. I'm not willing to necessarily say that because for some of you that may not be the case. I don't think all of you are going to be in relationships that are going to last, for past this year. But I do think quite a few of you will be. I do think you're going to have new clarity in romantic matters. I think you're going to be able to look at things from the manner of you're going to be able to be not strict. That really isn't the word I'm wanting, but and not practical either, because that's more the Queen of Pentacles. But I feel like you're going to be able to look at relationships with a little bit more truth, a little bit more, not so mystical and romantic maybe, but so that's kind of where I was thinking of practical, but that's not really the word I want either. It's more of you understand that not everybody's perfect. You'll be able to come to that conclusion during the year. You will be able to forgive certain faults or other things because you understand that not everything's always roses and light and beauty that way, but that it still could be strong and special and mutually beneficial and all of those kinds of things. But that maybe some of the romantic feelings that you might have about romance, you might kind of make those go by the wayside just a little bit. Kind of energy going on there, okay? We will be looking at a little bit more at your career as well. We have not really done so. I think I'm going to pick a few more cards because the reading so far hasn't mentioned your career much, other than you might have a new start or a new beginning in a career. You might start up something new. You might move on to a new career. You might have that happen during the year. But let's see if there's any other career cards. We're going to go ahead and pull a few. Ooh, they're just kind of jumping out all over at us here. Pull a few cards here. Ooh, a couple of them. Okay, well that's interesting. Because you have the Justice, the Hierophant, and the Magician that we pulled specifically to look at for your career. Okay, it's really interesting that you have the Justice, the Hierophant, and the Magician, because you had the Ace of Pentacles earlier, which we talked about, dealing with possibly new careers, but then you also had the High Priestess, which we talked about dealing with your mystical abilities, magical abilities, other things like that. And the Magician and the Hierophant show that you might actually go into a career that deals with mystical matters. And with the 12th house energy, this would be a good year to do that. If this is something that you've been thinking about doing, if you're, interested in tarot reading or rune reading or doing astrological charts or mediumship, if you have been developing that ability or any of those type of things like that, anything that deals with spirituality, anything that deals with mysticism, anything that deals with those types of energies, if you are interested in any of those things or you work on any of those things, it might behoove you to work on those as far as making those into a career of some sort, like doing a YouTube channel, attending fairs, starting your own business doing some of these things, astrology reading or other things like that. This might be a really good year for that. With that 12th house energy, with you being able to reach into that veil of the unknown, you being able to tap into those energies that you have available, it might be a really good year to work on those things. I'm not necessarily saying give up a job that's a little bit more earthbound or earth-based or earthly based, because you do have the Justice card, so it kind of shows where you could do both. It is possible to work on both things. Have one type of job to make a certain amount of money, and then work on implementing another one as well. Eventually, you might switch over to one or the other, or doing one exclusively, but you don't have to give up one to do the other. And it is possible that you could be working on both this year. So that is something for you to think about. That is something for it's a good year for that. Okay, because of you being able to tap into that ability and do those things like that. All right, let's move on to our charms. And we'll do those, the oracle spheres, and the angel numbers to get an idea if there's any other energies that you might deal with during the year, or any other things that might crop up or that you might have to work on. Okay. All right, let's take a look at. Wow, yeah. We have your guys' ability to tap into the mystical energies this year is really strong. Because it's, I guess that's just something I wanted to mention to you, because we have a lot of charms here that denote that as well. We have the starfish, we have the mermaid, we have the moon, we have the wolf, baying at the moon here. We also have the winged moon energy. Okay, so there's lots of energies here dealing with the mystical, dealing with that kind of thing. And so there's lots of energies here that deal with that. And I really feel like this is a year that you can tap into those energies, a year that you can do something with those kind of things. So I really, even the butterfly energy, you have lots of that energy going on here. We also have the transformational thoughts here of the mermaid and the butterfly. That's a transformational energies, that kind of thing. And I think dealing with transforming your life or changing things up might be something that you will be dealing with this year. Because I do think that is something that you can do. Transforming things up, looking at things. It's interesting how we have the Star of David here as well, because I do think that this might be a year for you to check into what you think about spiritual wise, what you believe in spiritually, what you what religion, because this is a year to definitely tap into that energy. Look at religions, look at spiritual topics, look at all of those things. This is a year to do that, because the 12th house deals with that a lot as well. We do have some cards here that we're going to look at here to get any other ideas or other things that might be going on with you. I dropped one. Hold on. Assuming I can pick it up. They're so tiny. You guys definitely are going to be dealing with some love matters this year as well. Like I said, I do feel like a new relationship is in the offering, or reworking of an old relationship is something that I feel like is something definitely coming up for you guys this year. You do have the love key, and you have the heart here that deals with that. You also have the Four of Cups again. So that energy is a very strong one in your year. We have the Four of Cups, and this corresponds to the Four of Cups. So one of the things for you to think about for this year, and one of the things for you to possibly know that you will be dealing with this year is it's very possible that you will not see everything that is being offered to you, that you won't see the full outcome of a situation that you're looking at, that things will be sort of hidden from you just a little bit, or that you won't be looking at it quite where you can see everything. Usually the Four of Cups energy is one where you have something being offered to you that's actually pretty good, but you're looking at it of, well, I can't do this, or I can't do that, or this isn't, usually there's some spilled cups there, but you're not seeing the ones that are full. Or in this case, it's raining outside. She's upset she can't go out, but she's not seeing that the rain is actually bringing 4 full cups to her, and it's going to help her flowers grow down here and other things. So that is one energy that is a strong energy for you this year, and so it's important for you to realize that there might be more to a situation than what you see. So if you get into a situation where it looks kind of bleak to you or not as good, try looking at it from another angle. Try seeing other things involved, because this year might be hard for you to automatically look at the other things. You might have to work at it a little bit to see that there's more involved than what is on the surface. Okay, and so that's an important energy for you to think about, because the energy that is flowing through you is that it's not automatically going to be easily seen by you. The other energy you have here, we do have the 2 energy, and we had the Lovers twice. We did have that coming together. So I do feel like coming together with a love energy is something very important this year. It is something that I do think you will be spending some time with this year. But we also have the 6 energy as well. And you had the 6 of Wands, and you had the other 6 over here when we pulled your other cards. And what those energies entail, and what that's really important for you to look at, is 6s are celebratory energies. They are you possibly getting some accolades. They are you being to have enough coming in that you could give to other people with the 6 of Pentacles. The 6 of Swords energy, if you had that, would be getting away from some sort of strife or problems or conflicts and being able to move forward. So the 6 energies are very much that moving on from the conflicts of the 5s, the problems of the 5s, the lack herein of the 5s. You do have a 5 energy here. And so what we're saying here with the 6 is that you do have the strength to move on. You do have what it takes to move on from any kind of problems or conflicts, because it is that more of a building year. And we did talk about year 4 and how stable that was. And we have the 4 of Swords as well, which is another 4. It's a stable grounding energy. It's also a relaxation energy. It's a resting energy. It's a getting back recovery from the 3 of Swords. It's getting ready for the conflicts of the 5. So it's being able to deal with things as they come up, and that is an energy that I want you to realize. You have the 4s here. You have a lot of 4s, and these 4s are a good foundational energy. They're a good stable energy. So it should be a pretty stable year for you. That is a good word for the year, stability, and being able to deal with that. It's that kind of year for you, okay? We do have the 9 of Wands again. That energy is kind of important. The 9 of Wands is a lot of a protective energy, but it's also a one of it's a strength energy. It's very much of a strength kind of card, in that she's built all this around her. She's got the wand on her. The 7 of Wands is very much the protection energy, but so is the 9, in that you're able to build up and being able to be protected from problems and from other things. But also, it's almost getting to the end. The 9s are almost at the end energy, and they're very much of, you've learned a lot of what you've needed to learn. And so your energy, a lot here with these 9 of Wands energy, is that it's a really good time to look into your spirituality. It's a really good time to look into your religion. It's a good time to look at what's going on and forward with the thing. Because we also have the 8 of Wands energy, and the 8 of Wands energy is very much putting things out into the universe and seeing what comes back to you. It's shooting the ideas out there, putting that kind of stuff out there. And that's really interesting with your magician energy as well, because that means this could be a good year for you to manifest the things that you want to see this year, because your ability to tap into those energies of the universe is very close this year with the 12th house energy. Like I said, being able to reach into that other realm is something that is easier for you to do this year, because the veil between the two worlds is a lot closer for you, and you're able to pull that in. And by being able to do that, it's an easier year for you to manifest the things that you want to see in your life, and be able to get those things and do that. You have the Go plus C Explorer energy, so this could be a good exploratory year for you. This could be a good year for you to kind of look into different things. We did talk about that. We did talk about you looking into your ideas of religions. We talked into you exploring other topics or other things that you haven't dealt with so far in your life, or learning more about other things or exploring other things. This is a really good exploratory year for you. This is a really good year for you to see what's out there, and look into more hidden depths and more things that might be different. It's interesting how you have the snowflake, because I see that as uniqueness. You are a very unique individual, and you can look into the uniqueness of the world and tap into that this year. That's a very strong thing in your reading this year. And then the elephant here too. I love elephants. Elephants are they're very strong in a lot of ways, and in home life as well. And we talked about your strong home life. I do feel like you will be able to have a very strong home life, deal very much with your family should be a very strong one this year. You should be able to strengthen those ties. You should be able to work with your family this year, and that's kind of thing. We also have some letters here. They might spell out certain things to you. I spelled lint for some reason. I think maybe that might mean just picking off old things and getting rid of those and getting stronger. But we have just lots of words you can spell here. We have L-I-N-T and an M. So there's also mint, some minting of things, or, bringing about, something new and exciting. There's other words that you guys can come up with, or they could be initials or other things like that. So I like to let you guys work with the letters on your own, and whatever comes to you or whatever feels strong for you, you should go with. Okay, so those are kind of the energies that we've been talking about for your year. Those are the kinds of things that you should be dealing with. The mystical energies, your home life, your building of relationships, being able to see things from a different angle and, try to get through and see them more clearly is really the energies you're going to be dealing with a lot for the year. Let's move on to our oracle spheres. This is where you get to think of a yes or no question that you can get an answer to. And we will be doing that. All right, so you think of a yes or no question. You pick a stand. We have gold, silver, green, and blue today. You decide which stand you would like to get your answer on, and we will go out and we will get those answers. Number 1, gold, is a maybe. Number 2, silver, is a no. Number 3, green, is a not sure. And number 4, blue, is a maybe. So we have gold maybe, silver no, green not sure, and blue maybe. So there are your oracle sphere answers for today's reading. All right, and then let's do our angel numbers. We have 1 through 55. Okay, so we have 5 stands. We have silver, purple, green, bronze, and red. And you decide which stand you would like to get your angel number on. You can pick more than one stand if you would like. And like I said, some people like to use all 5 numbers as lucky numbers for the month or for the year and things like that. So you can do that. In the description, there will be a link to a website or two that you can go to and find out what each angel number means. So you can look at the meanings and find out what's going on with those. Or you can type in angel number whatever into a web browser and it will take you to places that will let you know what each one means specifically. Okay? Because this is just another message that might be specific for you or something for you to pay attention to for the year. All right, so let's get our numbers here. Number 1, silver, is 16. Number 2, purple, is 18. Number 3, green, is 27. Number 4, bronze, is 7. And number 5, red, is 41. All right, so we have 16, 18, 27, 7, and 41. So there are your angel numbers for the year, and hopefully those will be useful to you there. Wow, guys, thank you so much for letting us do this reading for you. Hopefully there was some information for you that you can find useful and that you can do something with. Please remember to check out our other videos on the channel. We do timeless tarot readings every week or almost every week. And then we also do our daily messages from Spirit. Do check out the other readings for your moon and rising and sun signs so that you can get a better picture of your year by looking at all 3. And we look forward to seeing you again in future videos. And may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, Aries, pile 2. Those of you that chose the Aries written out, this is your reading for 2022. Remember, this is supposed to be the general energies that you might face during the year, some things that might crop up, what your, just the kinds of things that may happen or that you may be dealing with, the energies mostly. That are going to be happening during the year. Remember, this is for your sun, moon, and or rising sign. So if this is one of those, it's a good reading to watch, but it's also a good idea to watch those others that correspond to those positions in your chart as well, because that way you get a better idea of the whole year with all three, okay? So that's really kind of a good idea to do. So we have our Black Moon Rising astrology cards here. We also have our Romance Tarot that we're going to do. We have our other Tarot and Lenormand cards. We have our Charms. We have our Oracle Spheres. That's where you can think of a yes or no question that you can get an answer to. And we also have our angel numbers for the year that people use in different ways. So we've got a lot to get to today. So the first thing we're going to do is our Black Moon Astrology card. And I'm going to read out of the booklet for that because there's a lot there. And this usually gives us a really good idea of the overall energy for the year, okay? Okay, 34, the 10th house, the world. Ooh, 10th house. You might be dealing a lot with your job or career or money matters. Let's see what the booklet has to say here. Fame and the world at large. In astrology, the 10th house, which is at the top of the zodiac, embodies the masculine principle and represents the father or a primary male influence, or at least a very powerful, influential man. It can also represent the man in a woman's life. Because the 10th house opposes the 4th house, it can sometimes represent the woman or the mother in your life. But mostly the 10th house stands for reputation and standing. Because the 10th house is the house of Capricorn, it indicates you are about to put forth a diligent and concentrated effort. The climb and the advancement of your reputation is what the 10th house card means when it turns up in a spread. It also suggests looking at everything as the big picture. Since the 10th house is ruled by Saturn, being required to tell the truth or to be honest will have great bearing on how you advance your goals. People will discuss what you're doing and what you have started or are about to make. You may be contacted by the media, become recognized, or at least you will see your efforts in some public forum. The matter in hand may have something to do with governments, traveling to other lands, or encountering foreigners, or it could just mean your ambitions are about to gain momentum. Layers of illusion will be removed, your essential self disclosed. This could be in relation to the public or a possible love interest. Excuse me. If a love interest, they could be older or more established, or they will work along beside you in meeting your goals. If this card comes up, it can sometimes mean playing along with the status quo to get ahead. It could be due with paying your dues, grabbing what you can and taking advantage of a situation. This card suggests how high you can go in this lifetime, or at least concerning the issue at hand. Since it symbolizes the world, it also represents the earth. So working the land or acquiring land is something that may come into play and can therefore denote growth, crops, plants, farmers, and farming. Since Saturn plays in, this card can also represent a reaper, such as in you reap what you sow. So with the 10th house card, you get back what you give. In essence, though, this is the primary card of fame and infamy, your legacy, and what you will become known for. It is the house of success and failure, and this card will tell of what will likely come about, depending on the surrounding cards and upon the energies that surround you at the current time. Truth and honesty will decide this matter. The universe is supporting you now. Okay, the 10th house card in brief. These are keywords associated with it. Power, your position of power and how you are thrust into it. Reigning powers, influential people, meeting persons in power, the world travels, the public, the masculine principle, the father, the husband, the most important man in your life, the subject of the reading. If male, it's your reputation, how you are viewed, fame and infamy, your legacy, the upper spine, physical endurance, aging, measure, time, clocks, using others, sucking up to others, the sycophant, hard work, or not working hard enough, planning, diligence, step-by-step success, not overnight success, being methodical and efficient, banks, privilege, the elite going where the money is, achieving success, people paying attention, the voice of wisdom, ownership, destiny, and your place in the world at large. And the corresponding tarot card is the World. And then the key ideas are life's calling, what you have to do, your career, the mother, the father, glory, reputation, and fame. Okay. Wow, sounds like an exciting year. We're going to look at these other cards and see how that plays in with what you got going here. We'll see kind of where we're going with it. Oh, the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, definitely work. You're going to be working hard this year. The Knight of Swords. The Four of Pentacles. The King of Wands. The Page of Pentacles. Wow. The Nine of Pentacles. The Ace of Cups. The Page of Wands. I'm going to fit a few more cards here. The Tower card. We have the Fidelity card. And Ring 25. Wow. Okay. Whew. My goodness. You guys have a lot going on this year. There's a lot you're going to be doing. A lot you're going to be working on. It's going to be a very productive year for you. It sounds really exciting. I really like that. I do think you are going to spend a lot of time working on your career, advancing your income, advancing your status in the world, your what you're putting out into the world. I think you're going to be working on that. I do think that that's something that you're going to be working on quite a bit. This is important that you, this year, that you do spend some time on responsibilities and your obligations and things like that that you need to deal with, okay? But you should get some good partnerships, teamwork, contracts, other things like that this year. That's something that should go on, but you should definitely honor any kind of commitments you have or any kind of responsibilities that you have, because that is definitely shown up in the cards as well, as you will be spending some time on those things. We do have the Tower card and Fidelity here. The Tower card usually means quick, sudden changes or things happening. And so, but what I see for your spread, what it means more than anything is quick movement. Like, okay, let's say you've been working on a project. All of a sudden you are going to either get a really, really big burst of energy, or it will get completed, or it is completed and maybe it hasn't gotten much notice yet. And then all of a sudden it'll just take off. Okay. It's that kind of energy. I can give an example. Like, let's say you have a YouTube channel, and let's say you've worked on it for a while. It hasn't had very many subscribers, not a lot of people have noticed it or whatever, and you put more effort into it this year, and then all of a sudden it'll just take off. It'll just get really noticed. Okay, so it's that kind of energy. It's not necessarily that specifically for you guys, but it's that type of thing where you will get noticed, and I do feel like it'll probably happen quickly. The Fidelity card, what I see for you guys with that is that it's just really important, like I said, to honor your commitments, stick with, the people that kind of thing. The other thing I see with it, too, is you have the Ring card. And we will be looking at your romance tarot cards a little bit, but I think you guys might get into a relationship or a partnership. It doesn't have to be a romantic one. It could be a business one, since your reading is a lot about business this year. But you will probably get into some sort of commitment or partnership with somebody this year, uh, and you will form some sort of possibly legally binding, contract, like a marriage or a partner, form a partnership or something like that. That is very possible this year for that to be something that comes about or something that you do. And that just shows the fidelity card to me just shows the closeness of that, the I've got your back type of mentality and attitude. It's also very possible that you guys, because you do have the Ace of Cups as well, that you will get into a new lasting relationship this year. If you're not already in one, it's very possible you will meet somebody and get into a very strong, long-lasting relationship with them. Okay, so that is something I can see for some of you guys that will be something that you will be dealing with during the year. I do see it as a year of really good, exciting challenges. It's interesting how you had the Four of Pentacles, because what the World card mentioned, which is very true, is the 10th house is opposite of the 4th house. The 4th house usually deals with home, the mother, dealing with home matters, those kinds of things. And so since they oppose each other, sometimes they're in opposition where one will take precedence and the other won't, and sometimes they balance each other out because they're on opposite sides. In your case, you might neglect home matters slightly this year because your energy is so much dealing with work. So that is something to watch out for. That maybe spend a little bit more time at home than what you would have thought of to do. Try to balance that out a little bit. Try not to be, too much at work or too hard at work. But I do think that work matters will be your energy for the year, that you will be spending a lot of time at work. And it is very possible you will get recognized or known for your work, possibly by at least your peers and family and friends, but possibly by a much wider audience as well. That's very possible. We'll go ahead and we'll move on to your romance cards here a little bit, and we'll do the charms as well to see if there's any other energies or warnings or things that you might look out for the year as well. But let's go ahead and go and look at your romance cards real quick. All right, let's take a look and see what specific energies we might be feeling in the romance department this year. Card right here. Okay. All right. Well, we do have the Page of Swords. Oh, okay. We do have the Hanged Man, which is actually upside down. And we also have the Four of Swords. That's intriguing because it's another 4. So, with the Hanged Man here, okay, so I see different energies with your love life for each one of you. It kind of depends on what stage you're at, okay, in love. I feel like if you already have somebody in your life that you're with, that will probably be a relatively stable relationship all year. They'll support you in your endeavors. You might move it forward to the ring stage, where you might propose, or they might propose to you, or you might get engaged, or you might actually get married during the year. That is a possibility if you're not already married. If you are married or in a long-lasting relationship, excuse me, my goodness, my sinus has been awful today. If you're already in that relationship, I see it as being a very stable one during the year, one that, you'll have some celebratory things to go on because you should be doing really well in your career this year and probably bringing home more money and some accolades and other things like that. So, you'll have some reasons to celebrate with your partner, and also your partner will probably help you along with this. They'll support you in whatever way you need to help you get through this advancement in your career or this finishing projects or starting your career, whatever it is that you're doing this year, dealing with your career, they'll help you with that, and they'll help you be more stable. For those of you that aren't in a relationship, it is very possible you will start one this year. We talked about that earlier, because I think you're kind of been in preparatory mode for that. And even though you'll be busy at work and other things, you might meet somebody this year that will spark an interest in you, and you will, want to get into a relationship with them. Now, there is an energy here, though, of possibly getting into a relationship that's a little bit more restrictive, or trying to decide whether to get into a relationship with somebody. Like maybe you have a couple of different choices, that kind of energy. There is that there for a few of you, but I really see it more as a bond between you and whoever you're with this year, or whoever you get with this year if you're not with somebody. I see a very strong bond, and them helping you out of any kind of tough situations, them helping you make decisions, them helping advance you throughout the year. That's what I see more than anything. But there are a few of you that you will be maybe feeling a little restricted in your romance department a little bit. You might feel a little bit like you can't move as much as you would like to do. I get that with a couple of different cards here with the energy of that. I feel like a few of you are going to be dealing with that this year, and you might already know who you are. That might resonate with you really well. So you'll know if I'm talking to you on that. But all in all, for the most part, both in career and love, you should be doing pretty well this year. It should be pretty stable, and that kind of thing. Like I said, though, your home life, you might not have as much leisure time as you would like this year, because it's going to be kind of a busy year for you. You're going to be up doing a lot this year. You're going to be, it's going to be a very constructive year. It's going to be a very profitable year, and you're going to be really busy throughout a lot of it. So, not a lot of rest and relaxation kind of things going on. All right. Let's take a look at your charts. Let's see what else we might be seeing for the year. Okay, stay curious. The here and now. And see the world. Well, that's really interesting with see the world, because, you did get the world card. And it is possible you guys will be doing some traveling this year. It is possible that you, might see some things that way. Okay, we do have a couple of other energies here we do need to talk about that are showing up in the charms, that sort of showed up a little bit in the tarot, but the charms kind of drove them home a little bit, and we haven't actually discussed them a little bit. So let's do that. We do have the skull and crossbones, and we do have the snake. Now, the skull and crossbones usually are a warning sign to me. That means you need to worry a little bit about something in your life, and something happening there. And the snake, a lot of times when I see the snakes can actually be good omens and good things. But usually when I see it, one of the first things I think of is like snake in the grass kind of energy. And you had the fidelity card, which is a really good card in a lot of ways, because it means somebody's showing you fidelity. Somebody's being very loyal to you, okay? Because you notice how the dog is not leaving, their master kind of energy. So somebody is probably going to be very loyal to you and very close to you that way, but there is some energy out there that's against you. And, because we also had, a couple of other energies that might show that just slightly. We also have the salamander, which, is a heat related, very fiery energy, which is a good omen in your reading. But it just, with these two here, I just see that there might be somebody that might try to sabotage you in your work a little bit, or in your romance, or in your relationship. Okay, for instance, because you will be spending a lot of time and effort on your career or money making matters this year, it is possible that somebody will try to move in on whatever relationship you're in. Okay. Now, with the Fidelity card and the other energies I see, I think your significant other will hold out against this. And I think they will stick with you, and they will be your partner. But it is still possible that somebody out there might try to move in those types of energies, okay? So, somebody might go, well, they're not home, and they're not here, and that kind of thing. So that's kind of the energy I'm seeing a little bit. It's also possible that it's in your career or money making matters that somebody is trying to sabotage you a little bit, because maybe they're a little jealous of you, or they don't like how well you're doing or something, and they might try to horn in or do some other things. I really don't see it as being a big blockage for you this year, though. It is just something to look out for. But I really feel like, you're going to do pretty well this year in most things like that. You do have the after all this time always charm, and with me, once again, that goes with the fidelity. That goes, they're going to stick with you. They're, especially somebody you've been in a really strong relationship with. They're sticking with you this year. That's not going to happen. You do have, the I love you heart. You do have the Four of Hearts. Once again, that's the Four of Cups energy. But it's a 4, so it's another home life energy. I really feel like you're going to have a stable home life this year, romantic life, home life, dealing with those kinds of things, dealing with home and family and all that. I feel like that's going to be pretty stable this year. We do have the teddy bear. And to me, that usually denotes children or something. So there's a few of you that actually may have some children this year, which, wow, that's a busy, busy year. If you end up having children, as well as how hard you're going to work. But also with the teddy bear, I see, it goes along with this imagine here. This is a really good year for you to imagine what your life could be like, and what you would like to see in your life, and what you would like to create for your life. Any kind of childhood dreams that you've had. This is a really good year to try to manifest those and work towards those, because you have a lot of energy here where those dreams can come to fruition and actually get off the ground this year if you work at them. And so that's, the energy you got going on there for that. We have the letter H. That could be an initial. It could mean, if you think of a word when you see the letter H, that kind of thing. So once again, though, I kind of like the way the H is formed. It has the two pillars. It has a bar across it. So to me, that just shows what kind of a strong energy you have for the year. It's very strong and organized and tough. It's not going to fall over. It's not going to topple. It's, it goes along with your 4 energies and your 8 energies. Things are very stable and strong as far as that goes. So I really like that symbolism there with the H. You also have the 8 of Spades. It's another 8. 8 energies to me are, they deal very much with your work. It's interesting. You had the 8 of Pentacles and the 8 of Spades. And I thought you had another 8. Maybe not. Okay. Spades are the swords energy, and you also have the Knight of Swords as well. And what I see with swords is It's that going out there and idea type of energy. Um, it's getting new ideas, um, and running with them kind of thing. A lot of times when I see the swords energy, that's what I think of. And because you have the knight, you can charge out there and do that. You have the 8, which is a work related number for me, along with the 8 of Pentacles. So you should have some really good work ideas this year as well. But yes, your year is very much focused on work this year, or making money, or those types of energies, dealing with those things. All right, let's go on to your Oracle spheres and angel numbers. Let's see what we can get with those. All right, now the Oracle spheres, how this works, if you've not ever seen it, is you think of a yes or no type of question that you can get an answer to, okay? So that's really the only criteria, is that it needs to have an answer that will correspond to yes, no, maybe, probable, those types of answers, okay? So however you phrase the question, that's the type of answer you can expect, okay? It is a good idea to limit it in scope a little bit if you can. That helps the universe come up with the answer. But basically, you think of a question. Then we have 4 different stands here. We have blue, green, gray, and gold. You pick which stand you would like to get your answer on, and then we'll go out and we'll get our answers. Okay, so if you've thought of your question, we'll go out and we'll get our answers. We have blue, green, silver, and gold as your stands, okay? Number 1, blue is I'm not sure. Number 2, green is a probable. Number 3, gray is a not now. And number 4, gold is a no. So we have a not sure, a probable, a not now, and a no. So there are your Oracle sphere answers. Let's go on and do our angel numbers. And how this works is similar in that we have stands for you to pick from. We have 5 of them. And we have angel numbers 1 through 55. You pick your stand that you would like your angel number to appear on, and then you can go out to the links in the description and type in your angel number and find out what the meanings are behind it, that kind of thing. Or you can just go type in angel number, whatever it happens to be, and find out what the specific meanings are for that number. That would be a message that the angels would have for you for the year, something they would like for you to think about or look into, or maybe as a heads up that you might be dealing with, that kind of thing. You can pick more than one stand if you feel the need to do so. Also, some people will take all 5 stands and use those numbers as their lucky numbers for the year. You're welcome to do that. Or people sometimes will take the numbers and consider those important numbers for certain months, or that certain thing, might be time to launch something or do something else in that way. So you can utilize these however works best for you and what you're most comfortable with. And we're going to go out and we'll get our numbers. Your stand choices are red, bronze, green, purple, and silver. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And let's go out and find out what our numbers are. All right, number 48 for the first one, red. Number 46 for the second one, bronze. 40 energies, interesting. Oh, wow. Number 3, green, is also a 40. And then we have 23 for purple. And 45. Wow, every number was in the 40s but 1. That's intriguing. One of the things I noticed, normally I don't get an extra message when the angel numbers come up, but I kind of did this time. So I'm going to go ahead and say it, in that your home life may be very, very important to your work life this year. We talked about your home life as being kind of stable and things like that, but it's also possible maybe you'll start working from home, or that your home will play into your work life in some way. Okay, so that's just a little extra message there for some of you guys because of all the 4 energies that came up in the angel numbers. It was just kind of something that came to me there. All right, so our numbers are 48, 46, 40, 23, and 45. Okay, so there are your angel numbers for your year. Guys, I appreciate you being here for the reading. We really hope it was useful to you. We do monthly readings every month. That kind of tells you the general energies for each month as well. That kind of breaks it down a little bit more for you guys. So we look forward to seeing you on those. We also do other videos that are timeless tarot on lots of topics that might be of interest to you. And we do our daily messages from Spirit. So do check out our other videos. There's sure to be some out there that would be of interest to you. We look forward to seeing you again in future videos, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, Aries Pal 3, those of you that chose the Aries constellation. This is your reading for 2022. And remember, this is your general energies for the year, the kinds of things that might crop up, the kind of energies you might deal with, what your main focus for the year is going to be, those kinds of things. There might be some advice crop up or some other things like that. It just kind of just depends on what the cards have to say here. We do have our Black Moon astrology card here. We have our tarot cards and Lenormand cards. We have our romance deck we're going to be looking at. We have our charms to give us a little bit more information. We also have our oracle spheres and our angel numbers. Now, the oracle spheres are where you think of a yes or no question that you'd like to get an answer to, and the angel numbers are how the angels impart specific messages to us as well. So, lots to get through today. On the Black Moon astrology card, I will be reading out of the book on it because it's a really good way to get a general energy of what your focus might be for the year. The kinds of things that might crop up, or it's a really good way to start out the reading and kind of see where the reading's focused at. So we're going to do that. All right, so let's see what you guys have going. We have 35 11th house friends. That also deals with your fame a little bit, social media, things like that as well. So that might be something you'll be dealing with during the year. All right, let's see what the booklet has to say on this. The 3 graces of hope, faith, and charity. The bonds of friendship. Rely upon support from friends and other associations. Don't attempt to go it alone. You will need help. The 11th house is all about associations and how we connect to others. It is a house of group alliances, ideals, and our aspirations in a public or social arena. The 11th house is commonly referred to as the house of friends. But it is so much more than that. It has everything to do with the collective that comes from groups, people who identify and align with each other to make social change. By combining our energies with others, we can make our world, but more importantly, the domain of others, a better place. The 11th house has much to do with our destiny, what we decide to give before we leave this earth, our soul's purpose. The 11th house deals with the greater good and living up to an ideal. The 11th house card says that we are not in this world alone and that it is time to aim higher and go among the broader society to work with others or share energies. As it's not a good time to work on your own, the support of allies and other groups are necessary. The 11th house points out how we are distinct. It is a reminder that we are unique among groups and friends. When this card turns up in a reading, the focus is on friends, what groups you belong to, and who you associate with. To achieve your objectives, pooling your resources with those of others may be necessary. There will be changes in your friendships and associations, or possibly you may be able to achieve an important goal or desire based upon who you know. It represents a collective creativity. A friend may have the very information you need to further advance your cause and goal, or it could be through the friendship of lovers or spouses that will allow you to attain your dream. This means you are to hook up with the right people at the correct time. Now it is all about the people you know and what organizations you associate with. Even though it's a fortuitous time to join a class, a club, a society, or a group, it is also important you be a standout. Others will support you individually. Sometimes this card indicates the sudden appearance or disappearance of an old friend. The 11th house is also the house of stepchildren or children who belong to your lover. Issues involving such children may arise. Look to surrounding cards for the meaning of the issue. The appearance of the 11th house card means the collective, those who support you as friends, but can sometimes indicate open enemies and rivals. It could just be a spirit of competition between you and another, bringing out the best in both of you. But in the end, what works out is what works out best for all. So it is not a good time to save your need for your needs only. It is time to be a comrade and give consideration to friends. 11th house card in brief. Friendship, friends of all kinds, allies and alliances, social contracts, organizations and clubs, gatherings, dreams, hopes and aspirations, destiny, compassionate acceptance, the place where we discover we are not alone, being different, individual, one of a kind, foreigners, other cultures, and people with a different ethnicity or background, tribal connections, suffering from rejection or banishment from the tribe, traveling to foreign lands, entering a new field, misfits, artists, stepchildren, children who are also our friends, technology, connecting through electronics, working with the flow, trusting in the flow as well as in your own wild and unique self. The corresponding tarot card is the Three of Cups, and the key ideas are sources of help, alliances, groups, friends, the black sheep of the family, goals, hopes, wishes, and dreams. Okay. Also, one of the things I didn't mention with the 11th house that I've always kind of known in astrology is sometimes it deals a little bit with your fame and fortune in this life. So your fame, as in society as a whole, is the group seeing you, but also a little bit about your fortune. It's one of the houses that deals with you possibly getting whatever fortune, and not necessarily monetary, but whatever fortune and fame that you might get in your lifetime. So the 11th house deals with those matters a little bit as well. So even though I didn't mention that, that is one thing that is a possibility for you guys too. We'll get a look at the cards and see where we're going. Now, one of the things I forgot to mention in the introduction there a little bit is that this reading is for your sun, moon, and or rising signs. So if it corresponds with one of those, it's a good reading to watch. But then also watching the readings that correspond with the other of those is really good as well, because it gives you a better picture of the whole year and more of the influences that might influence you this year. Because usually we get just kind of one main focus or one thing that you might be working on. And by looking at all three readings, or some of you only will have two, depending on what your sun, moon, and rising signs are. By looking at that, it gives you a little bit more idea of maybe some other things that might also play into your year as well. So I just wanted to let you guys know that, so that you can watch those readings as well. Okay, let's see what other information we have with the tarot cards here. We have the Five of Swords. Okay, another group energy. The King of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles, another group energy, and also children. Okay. The Nine of Wands. The Death card. Okay, that usually means changes. So you guys might be dealing with some changes. The Ten of Wands. It's also completion energy too, so that goes along with the change really well. The Two of Swords. The Hermit card. Interesting. The Wheel of Fortune. Oh, wow. Okay. We have Malady here. Interesting. And the Five Tree. Wow. You guys are going to be going through some change this year for sure. We have a couple of fives. We have the Death card. You got some energies of some change. The Wheel of Fortune usually deals with changing of fortune. So this is a year of change for you. You're going to be changing up things the way you've been dealing with them in the past, and with some other things. So that's definitely something for you to be thinking about this year. However your year has gone so far in 2021, you know, the kinds of energies 2021, you can expect things to change up and be somewhat different in 2022. Okay, for sure. That's one of the things that you've got going on here. One of the things I see, and this may not apply to all of you, so just take it, and if it resonates with you, and if it doesn't, then it wasn't for you guys. I know, sometimes I get specific things for specific people watching. One of the things with the Malady card and the tree and the Hermit card, I feel like some of you watching this reading, and it could be a good portion of you, but I don't think it's everybody, okay, has been ill, has been dealing with health issues, health-related matters, and maybe for quite a while, actually. I think that's where some of the change is coming. I think finally you're going to be able to set down some of those burdens a little bit with the 9 and 10 of Wands energies here, that you've been, this has kind of been a heavy burden for you that you've been dealing with for a while now, and now you should be able to change that up. You have some really good Pentacle energies, those are really good health-related energies. You have the Wheel of Fortune, which shows things changing up. We've got the fives, we talked about changes. You've got the tree here, which shows growth, and which is really good because it kind of goes with the Malady card here a little bit, in that, okay, sickness, but now growth, healing. We had the Hermit card, which is usually, you needed to be kind of on your own, trying to heal from all of this illness or whatever. But then you have the card that shows going out into the world and, having friends and other things. This card also, to me, shows recuperation in dealing with, getting better after a battle. So I feel like, and this also might, if you haven't been ill, it is possible you will deal with some health issues during the year and then get better throughout the year, okay? But at first, they'll be hard, they'll lay you up. And that still doesn't apply to everybody, okay? So I want you to know that this health thing that I'm getting a very strong vibe with may not be for everybody watching this reading, but either you've been really ill and you've been dealing with it and working on it and trying to, or you might get ill earlier on in the year, and it will be something that will take your energy and you will have to work on, and eventually throughout the year, especially more towards April, May, June, it should start turning around, and by the end of the year you will get a lot better. But even those two energies may not apply to those of you watching this reading, okay? So even though it is a strong thing for a lot of you, that health is a big thing, for a lot of you watching this reading, there are a few of you that this will not pertain to, okay? So I just needed to get that out there. Normally that's not so strong like that, especially when the energy is so strong. It would almost apply to everybody, but for some reason this does not, so don't know why. And I'm not sure why you would be watching this pile if it doesn't apply to you, but maybe we'll figure out that here in a moment, okay? But let's go ahead and talk about those energies first, since it is so strong, and there is a good portion of you that this will be something that you will be dealing with. The good news is you will be able to recover from it. You will be able to turn things around. Things will get quite a bit better. You'll get a more stable, even keel and that kind of thing. The one thing that I want you guys that are dealing with health issues to realize or think about, though, is definitely rely on family and friends to help you through it, because that is an important energy here with the cards that we have, and they will be able to help you, okay? They will be able, they can help you financially, they can help you, just do things that are hard for you to do right now because you have been recovering from this, and it might be difficult for you to do certain things. You might, have trouble lifting things, or, other things. So let others help you. Okay, that's really important, and that's a really important message that I wanted to get out there for you guys. Okay, so that was something that's going on there. Now, for the couple of you that the health issues don't pertain to, I'm trying to figure out why you would be watching this particular spread. And maybe it's because there is something, maybe it's not so much a health issue. Maybe there is some other burdens or some other things that you need to have relieved. And the idea is to let your friends and family help you with that. And so maybe that's the message that you guys need to get from this. And that's why you're watching this particular pile. Because that energy is the same for all of you, that you need to rely on friends and family to help you through this, whatever it happens to be. And if it's not a health related issue, there are some other issues that maybe you do have some burdens or some other things that you do need to have some help with. Okay. So that is where I'm thinking maybe the energy's coming from. I do love that you have the Six of Pentacles here, and it does deal with children. So I do feel like children might be an important issue for those of you watching this reading, in that it did mention stepchildren or other children like that. This is like community children, where he's, possibly giving out riches or things to community children. So I think that children might be and probably not your children, okay, because of the energies we have going. It could be, stepchildren, which are your children, but stepchildren. It could be community children, people in groups or clubs or other things that you are involved with. Other things. They might play a really important part in your life this year. So that is something to keep in mind. That might be part of your healing process, is being able to work with those children, or do something with them, or help them out in some way, or issues with them might arise, and you dealing with that might help you. I really feel like kind of that strong energy of, if you deal with these children, by helping them in some way. Could be financially, could be supportive, could be however you find best, but if you help these children in some way, it will help you out as well. Okay, so that's just a message for you to think about. It's something for you to deal with. But I do see a change up coming throughout the year. Things should improve. Your standing in the community should improve. Your finances should improve some this year. For many of you, your finances should get a lot better, and your health should improve. Your earthly matters like that should just all get quite a bit better during the year from where they are right now, and where the energy starts with during the year. Okay, so that's a thought going there. Now, I'm not getting much on your specific romantic life or your career necessarily. Unless your burdens that we were talking about dealt with either of those things. But we will look at your romance cards to see how your romantic life might go during the year, what you might see crop up with that or whatever. We'll look at that and see where we're going there. Okay, let's see what kind of romantic energies Aries Pile 3 has for 2022. What you might look at in their romantic life, and what might crop up during the year, and what they might be dealing with. Okay, so let's take a look here. Oh, card flew out. And a little hard for me. I'm in a really tight space. Sometimes it's a little hard to bend over and pick up things when they fall over. Okay, there we got it. Whew. The Four of Swords. Okay. And then we have the Two of Cups and the Five of Wands. Okay. Well, it's another 5 energy for some of you. So you might be changing up. Actually, okay. The 5 energy here, I think, just denotes change of what your life is going to be. That your life is changing this year with the other 5 energies that we had as well. I think that's kind of what that's denoting. But also, there's a few of you, I don't think very many, but there's a few of you that might be changing up your romantic partners this year, or you might play the field. This has a lot of energy with that. This is showing lots of different, choices and people, but he's also kind of focusing in on one person too, though. So I do feel like, for the most part, for most of you, I feel like your love life is going to be very stable this year. You can depend on your partner. You can depend on who you're with. If you're not with somebody, that was the energy I was getting, is that you might play the field some this year. You might kind of zero in on somebody at some point, or you might, change up. Like maybe you've kind of have somebody in mind right now, but that might change throughout the year. You might zero in on somebody else, that kind of thing, that kind of energy. So if you're not with a partner at the moment, if you're not with a romantic partner, I see it kind of as being a change up year for you. A change in your romantic life should pop up, because you have a lot of changes going on this year, and that would be one of them. For those of you that are in a relationship, I see it as being a very strong, stable relationship. They're going to be there for you. They're going to help you through any kind of problems you've had. They're going to help nurse you if you're one of the sick ones that we were talking about. They'll help support you in any way. They'll help you get rest and relaxation, that kind of thing. I don't see major upsets in that. That relationship should just get stronger if you're in one, that kind of thing. Okay, so that's kind of the romantic energies I kind of see for the year. I'm hoping the charms will help us out a little bit with the career energies or the money-making energies. I do see your finances improving during the year, which if you have been sick or you've had to take off time or whatever, your finances might have suffered. And I do see those as improving during the year. It is also, we did talk about the 11th house as possibly being the house of fame and fortune. So, it seems like in your particular reading, it's more towards groups and friends and family and those people at large, dealing with other people, and you working with other people and you not going it alone kind of energy. And that's where most of the reading is going. But there is a slight energy of an improvement in finances during the year. Maybe not a fortune coming to you or anything like that, but I do see an improvement during the year for most of you, that it should improve. Things should improve financially and get better for you financially, okay? With that 11th house energy, that's kind of a little bit, we might get a little bit more information with the charms, so we will go on to those and take a look at what we've got going with those. Okay, so let's move on over and look at that. Okay. Okay, we do have a 4 energy. Once again, that's that stable home life. That's, I do see you as doing a lot of recuperating at home this year. I do see you as kind of maybe even being reluctant to get out and socialize and do other things. But socializing is important this year. So getting out and about amongst people a little bit. Now, you can do that from a distance, and you can do that, on the internet or other things like that. There are ways to get out there in the community without actually physically coming face to face with a large number of people. So there are ways to do that. So I just kind of want you to think about that a little bit. We do have the butterfly, which once again denotes change. You guys are going to be going through some changes this year from the way things have been status quo. You will change things up. Things are going to be different than the way they have been. That is something for you to realize during the year, is things will change up some for you. You do have some changes definitely coming, okay? Wow. It's a charm that I don't recognize. And I'm trying to figure out what it is. Oops. And now I dropped it on the floor and I'll probably never see it again. Okay. Let me try to pick this up. I've never seen this charm. I don't recognize it, and I'm not sure what it is. So, what meaning that might hold for us could be interesting. It looks sort of like an ass, but it also has... All right. I'm going to see if we can get you guys a close-up of this. I'm not sure, but maybe. And maybe you can discern what that is. But what I get from it, by it being a term I don't recognize, and it being something I don't see, is, or have not seen, or don't remember, or whatever, that I get the feeling you guys aren't going to be able to recognize yourself by the end of the year. Your changes are going to be so profound that you are going to be a lot different, and it's going to surprise you. We do have the mermaid fins as well, so with the butterfly and this and all that, that's lots of changes. That's lots of going through some very uniquely, you kind of energies. So that's intriguing to me, how much change you guys are going through during the year. We had lots of fives. We talked about this, but you guys are going to change so much. I don't think you're going to recognize who you are by the end of the year. And what I mean by that is we have the hermit energy, and I feel like that might be an energy that might be comfortable to you guys. That might be something that you're used to doing. You're used to going it alone. You're used to being on your own. You're used to kind of being a recluse. And we've been talking about you dealing with social energies and other people, and getting out there amongst your peers and amongst people and so forth. And that might be slightly uncomfortable for you, but it is also an energy that I do think you're going to have during the year. And by doing that, I think it's going to change up your personality a little bit. I think it's going to change up who you are. I think you're going to realize how much you like the support of your community and other people like that. I think you're going to like what you do and what you get out there. And I think it's going to surprise you. So that's kind of the energy I'm getting from that. That's really kind of cool. I really like that, that message came through there. Because we also have the confident kitty here, which to me shows you're going to gain a new level of confidence during the year, and be a little bit more outgoing and a little bit more sure of yourself, a little bit, that kind of thing. So a lot of change this year of who you are and how you deal with things. Your whole personality, to a degree, is going to change. You're not going to lose who you are, though. You're still going to be you, but you're going to change for the better. It's going to be a really good change for you. So it's really exciting. I really like that. We have another 4. It's the 4 of Wands, so it's another, home, stable energy. So some of you guys might want to spend a lot of time at home, and which is kind of contradictory a little bit to the getting out and seeing people and doing stuff. So you might find a unique way to kind of be at home and still socialize. This sounds kind of weird, but that's just kind of what's coming to me there a little bit. We also have another change energy a little bit with this 7. It's a 7 of hearts, but that's the 7 of cups energy. And that energy is kind of a nice one, because that means you can start getting some of the things that you'd like to see in your life. And also that energy with your particular reading makes me feel like your friends and family and other people can help fill your cups for you. They can help you get the things that you want. They can help you manifest those things into your life, and give you the things that you would like to see emotionally and everything else. So that's kind of cool. I really like that energy. We have a W and a U. Those could be initials. Those could spell out words to you, like if you could think of specific words when you see them. So I let you guys kind of deal with the letters on your own, especially when there's not that many. Just whatever resonates with you on that. What is for you will not pass you by. So that's just a nice little message to let you know that if something's supposed to come to you this year, money-wise or job-wise or person, or if people are supposed to come into your life, they will. kind of energy. You have two hearts here. You have the angel heart and a flower heart. Those are long-lasting energies to me. Those are the angels, smiling on you and telling you how much they love you. That's love passed on loved ones. Maybe that's an energy you guys have been dealing with a little bit this year, and that's just kind of that connection and showing you how much they love you, and that there is love going on there, because I feel like that's a message maybe some of you guys needed to hear. But also, I see that as your love life being relatively stable and long lasting and cheerful this year is what I see with that. The shell here just kind of shows me once more the mysteries that you're going to uncover during the year, and the special little surprises that are going to crop up. We also have the bone. To me, bones, this is a dog bone energy, so I think of long lasting. I think of tearing into something, like a dog with a bone, not letting go of it. And with that energy with you guys, I see this as you guys getting stronger this year. You guys, solidifying things a little bit more. You getting more strong. You building up that strength, because that is an energy that I've been seeing throughout the reading, is you guys getting stronger throughout the year. And a lot of that will be dealing with your health, because your health has kind of knocked you back. But also, it could just be you dealing with life better, you gaining that strength from your community, from your family, from your friends, that kind of thing. Okay, so let's move on to our oracle spheres. And how this works is you think of a yes or no question. So a question that has an answer that needs to be yes or no, maybe, probable, those types of answers, okay? And you think of your question and you pick a stand. We have bronze, silver, blue, and green. And you decide which stand you'd like to get your answers on. And we go out and we pick answers, okay? So you go ahead and you think of your question and you can pick your stand. And then we'll get our answers. Number 1, bronze, is probable. Number 2, gray, is not now. Number 3, blue, is not likely. And number 3, green, is also not likely. Okay, so we have a probable, a not now, a not likely, and a not likely. So there are your oracle sphere answers. All right, and then we go on to our angel numbers, and these work similar in that we have stands for you to pick from. We have gold, red, green, purple, and silver today. And we have numbers 1 through 55. And when you pick your stand and you get your number, you can go out to the description and click on the angel number link and find out what your number specifically means. That might be a specific energy for the month for you, or for the year for you, or something for you to focus on, or something like that. Also, you can pick more than one stand, so if you feel the need to do that, there might be more than one thing there for you to look at. Some people take all 5 stands and use them as lucky numbers for the year. They might sometimes pick a specific number to mean certain days of the month, or certain months, or other things that might be of importance. So whatever works best for you on this, we let you guys do that. All right, so let's go out and get our numbers. All right, number 1 is 15, gold. It's 15. Number 2, red, is 32. Number 3, green, is 26. Number 4, purple, is 20. And number 5, silver, is 5. Okay. So we have 15, 32, 26, 20, and 5. That change number again. Wow. keeps popping up. 32 reduces to 5. Whew, okay, so that's, you got a 5 and the 15 here, so definitely change for the year. That's definitely coming up for you guys. All right, guys, that is your reading for this year. I really hope you had some messages that were useful to you and that you could do something with. We do put out monthly readings every month, which will give you more detailed readings for each month, but we also put out daily messages from Spirit that you might check out, and we do put other timeless tarot readings out there on lots of different topics. So do check out the channel and what we have to offer, because we very much appreciate that. We do look forward to seeing you again in other videos, and we hope you have a wonderful year. May the stars guide your path. Bye-bye.